Welcome back. It's another day, if you can believe it. It's Wednesday once again. The promise has been fulfilled. I don't really have much to say at this starting right off because I don't really want to comment on what the names of these things are until I can actually see their until I can actually see their screenshots and trailers. Big part of the reason that I started doing this is because I guess arguably the only reason I'm doing this is because I was looking at I was going through stuff on Steam and I was like, why do I not what makes me not click on this thing because I don't like the name, but I click on this other thing, but it has a good name. Like it's not helping. Like it's not making my decision more informed by just looking at the names and the thumbnails. So it's like, okay, the only way to actually do this is to go through screenshots and trailers. I already saw this. Did I fuck up? Oh yeah, I did fuck up. We looked at Mini Healer. Oh, you know what it was? I hook XCOM Chimera Squad and I mixed that up with Gears Tactics because this is ripping off XCOM and they're both about fighting invasive alien species. So, whoops. Okay, here we are. It is really weird to look through because one thing is you don't just find new indie, tiny independent games here. You also find like re-releases of old like PS2 games. 34 is enough. We'll just do 34 today. That's a great. This will not go well. That's a great title. Jericho's Prophecies. One more shot. I haven't actually been doing this for because like I stopped around like 2020 because it's just like doing this every day has like it starts becoming really monotonous and like now sorry, I gotta check the stream. Hold on. Okay, we're good. But because I haven't been doing this for a little while, I'm getting my legs back for seeing if I like want to bother looking at a trailer for a game. But now you're starting to see me getting back into the rhythm, so I'm like clicking through games a lot faster, like in certain instances. In the search for revenge. Yep. Bumblebutt. Frenetic arcade game where Betty Buzz takes out nasty bugs with the power of her bottom. Repost. This might be our first real game of the night. They got their art on point, if nothing else. It was a good concept for a game, but you know, Kuyo is. Oh, it actually has good. Looks like it has good hit effects on its jumps. Wasn't expecting that. Gotcha. I hate this art style. They somehow took like that 2D generic art style. That's like we need to appeal to the mass market with a phone game. They took that and they made it into 3D. Puzzle. This will be bad, but you gotta check the trailer anyways. Okay. Abyss Crew. Actually found a game that was like this. That was just you using radar underwater, and it was very minimalist. That looked actually, because it had less graphics, it actually looked better than this. Multiplayer co-op game. Let's see if I can I'm gonna see if I can remember what the game was. Radar. If you ever go through my recommended games that I found this way list, you'll find it eventually. Doesn't matter. They got their backgrounds aren't great, but their actual character art looks okay. This is not good font. Don't use this font. If for a medieval fantasy game. A young man with a tragic past. Okay, this got me actually kind of interested. But nothing else about this game looks very good, so idea of so what's funny is people are always like, oh man, these new games and these new ideas and creators are so weird. It's like the idea of like a wall or an inanimate object being turned into something with feelings and like wants and needs, like that's old. That's old idea that's been done a million times. You're just not used to seeing it with anime eyes. That's what fucking that yokai, that one kind of yokai is, where it's just if you leave an object, like if you ever see that those yokai that are like objects but they have big eyeballs on them, like that's what those are. That's from like hundreds, maybe thousands of years ago in a folklore. But what's this game? Party-based RPG, real-time combat. I could see this being a real game, but like it's not flashy, or I mean, doesn't have anything that really hooks me in. So yeah, mosquitoes and zombies. Oh, it's an endless runner. There's so many genres of games that are just not genres. They're just the same game but with a different skin, and I think endless runners are one of those. It's probably why it's so easy to. That's probably why people make them. It's like, okay, we'll just put Crash Bandicoot in endless runner, and we'll make a bunch of money because based on the strength of our intellectual property and our character. This is generic music. Don't use generic music like this in your trailers. Shat Hourglass. Sorry. Mix between Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, and Breath of Fire. And if anyone ever tells you, no, you can't make an interesting game with like this aesthetic or like this game engine, like just point out Fear and Hunger. Like it's not the engine. It's just you're not being creative and like detailed enough with it. This is very. This guy is got very mid 2000s, like American-ish anime style. Just thought I'd point that out. Where it's like you just draw a handsome guy and then you put a beard on him. Okay, he's old. If you want an example of that, just look at Deltora Quest, which was actually an okay show, but it had that art style. Another endless runner. Puzzle Pelago, a drag and drop economy. Let's see what this is. You know, it just becomes instant and like so much more charming once you just remove the grid and just make it like a kind of a simplistic art style, so you don't need the grid. Makes it look so much better.
Process the resources into goods. Step 3. Combine multiple resources or goods to create even more advanced goods.
This is an interesting idea.
Step 4.
Just having a really small island.
The goods required by the islanders are produced right next to their homes. Step 5. And don't forget that on these islands, paths must not cross. Well,
I think if you took this idea and just like made it a lot, there was like more mechanics to it and like things you could do, like this would actually be a really interesting idea. I mean, it's interesting now, but it's not interesting enough for me personally.
Up to the task? Find out in Puzzle Pelago.
Yeah, if you like puzzle games, this one and like kind of charming art style, that looks like something you might want to get into. Also, I'll just leave that there. I'll remind everyone. Rascal Fight. Oh, so this is like a kind of a not so great spiritual successor to it's that one brawler game on the Dreamcast. Dead Ground Z.
We'll start us.
So yeah. Bigger, better models, but like worse animation than a PS2 game. It's just a common thread. Neve. It's an atmospheric parkour game. You can see the these models are really simple and like kind of the same texture and everything on them, which makes it a lot easier to make. And it's first person. I'll look at that one later. Well, I'll just look at that now. It doesn't look like a porn game, so.
Reports are showing.
What do you say? It's a runner game. Duck duck goose. How did this one get up so high? Doesn't even have sound on its trailer. That's pretty bad.
Finally reaping.
Fire escape.
Right here. Something doesn't seem right here.
Tonight, we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to change everything.
So what do we have for witnesses, possible suspects?
6 tenants in the building, all who were present at the victim's place just before the homicide. So I got them on lockdown.
Is this
in
an
their
older
apartments.
game? Is this a re-release? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't think it is. The Strange Story of Brian Fisher, Chapter 1.
When one, I start.
I hate these. I hate like when they put those trailers up front so I can't actually look at the gameplay. There's actually a thing going on right now there that was streamed like today or yesterday, which was like the triple I indie initiative, where there's a bunch of well-known indie developers putting out a bunch of trailers. If you look at what I'm doing right here, it looks like this is a first part. This is kind of like a found object game. There's no real like, you can't just look at backgrounds. Maybe that's why it was so confusing. But that indie showcase is like it's just as you settle, if you ever settle into watching me do this, you'll start looking at those things and being like, yeah, that's like nothing. That's like one day compared. That's like less than one day of games that I look through every single day.
Fall in love, save the world, learn to code, play Code Romantic. They call themselves equal. They're aware now. The human race is being wiped out. But we have one advantage. One way that humans and machines will always be different. Machines can be reprogrammed. I'm a
Oh, this is
reprogrammer
actual
agent, and I'm
mechanics.
not alone. We've been chosen to take the Aware from the inside out, training as an elite force of programmers in the Human Defense Department.
So it's a visual novel and a puzzle game. How much coding do you actually have to learn? Oh, it's using real code. No prior experience necessary. Had my daughter, who has no real experience in coding, was hooked by this game and completed it in 2 long sessions, 7 hours. She really liked the story and enjoyed thinking through the coding puzzles as well. She is already looking forward to the sequel. This is the perfect type of game to get kids interested in coding, and in terms of that, I think it has done its job. So this looks a little more interesting than just like generic point-and-click adventure. I imagine Yahtzee would really like this game, or be vaguely interested in it. Yeah, it's not a programming game. I thought it would be based on the title and some of the screenshots, but when it says puzzles in the description, it means they are puzzles and only puzzles. All the code is already written, and the objective is to fill in a few blanks with the correct values to finish it. Okay. That's still okay. It's like it's more than just normal. Yeah, if you're interested, like, look at it. Okay, I'm just not gonna try. It's written in Chinese. Get me, bro. So race. Gone survival. Nah. World or Riot. It's got a good art style. Makes me think of Axe Cop. No, not Axe Cop. Inferno Cop. It's just one finger death punch. It's unfortunate. It's got I like the art style a lot though. Samsara room. You woke up in a mysterious room you have never seen before. Can you find another way out? Samsara Room is a remake of the praised predecessor of the Rusty Lake and Cube escape series. I guess that's why it sold okay. It's got that previous game to go off of. Rusty Lake. I think I've heard of Rusty Lake. No. Oh yeah, I have. I remember these guys. Rusty Lake Hotel. This one I'm actually interested in. It's got animals, peoples in it. I think I own this. But I own it on GOG, not Steam. But yeah. So, actual winner today is Rusty Lake Hotel, which is from 2016, ironically. And if you want to play a game that's a point-and-click adventure about fighting robots using code with a kind of a pretty art style,